Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. This is the Zenith Chronomaster Original Liberty Edition, designed as a 150-piece limited edition for the North American market. This is a watch that is based on the historic A384 case design. At this point, I'm going to advise you to mute me, open a different window, keep me streaming, and play the theme to Team America World Police as I rotate this watch through the three-dimensional views and wrist shots. I'll wait. Okay, here we go. This watch, 37 millimeters in diameter, is 12.9 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 46.9 millimeters, and 19 millimeters is the spacing between the lugs. As you can see, it wears like a vintage watch. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it sits low enough that it'll easily slide underneath a dress cuff if you do indeed plan to wear it underneath a sleeve, and it's short enough across the wrist that I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. Taking a look at the strap, you can see it features a combination of textile on the top, a red binding stitch. You can see it's quite thick. It is made of leather. Internally, it is made of leather. So you have this textile pattern on the top, rubber on the bottom to prevent the sweat, heat, moisture, grit, and oil of the wrist from aging the leather of the strap. Then we have a simple Zenith polished steel pin buckle. You can see it as the Zenith star, top and bottom stainless steel. The case is, again, A384 inspired. You've seen the A386, that's more conventional case design. This one, which debuted in 1969 alongside the A386, this is more a vision of what the 70s were going to look like, and it was a very prescient view at that. A tonneau case, a monoblock design where the case top, the bezel, and the mid-case are all one piece. Everything loads through the back. And then we have a lapping machine pattern, a radial grain across the lug hood and the bezel hood. And again, that's a very 70s design. There's a polished bevel on each side, and then you can see that the lug hoods as well as the bevel between the lugs, high polish. We have vintage pump style pushers, a Zenith crown, as you see the star on the polished crown. And then we have a sapphire that is designed to look like a vintage plexiglass with a bubble-like camber. And it does a very convincing impression at that. America, hell yeah. Here we go. This is a red, white, and blue dial. While in theory this was a North American limited edition, it's hard not to see this as a pitch to the United States market. We have red, white, and blue with a wonderful candy-striped, varnished seconds hand for the chronograph. We have a red on white date disc, and yes, all the numerals are red. We have a lovely blue dial. It is a blue metallic with a rich luminescent grain to it. You can see it glows softly in the light. And then we have sub-registers in silver white. You can see they're slightly countersunk. We also have rhodium-plated steel applique indices, and we have rhodium-plated steel hands to match. Like fireworks on the 4th of July, plenty of luminescence. You can see that even the chrono seconds hand here is luminescent and visible while the lights are off. The watch does include a quick-set feature, and because this is an El Primero, not the new caliber 3600, but the original caliber 400, whose origins date back to 1969, you'll find that when you pull the crown out all the way, that's actually the quick-set for the date. On these El Primeros, it's the intermediate position that actually sets the time. The watch, of course, includes a tachymeter scale, which you can use in conjunction with the seconds hand to gauge the speed of a race car over a course. You're going to have to perform some conversions to imperial units, but you can use this to gauge the speed of a NASCAR stalker over a mile. Turning it all over, you can see that the watch uses caliber 400. Now, caliber 400 is basically the original caliber 3019 PHC from 1969. So back in 1969, Zenith created the first integrated automatic high-beat chronograph. That caliber has gone through several different nomenclatures over the years. Caliber 40, caliber 4000, caliber 400. That is what you see here. It is a bidirectional winder with a 50-hour power reserve. It has the famous 10 beat per second, 5 hertz beat rate, 36,000 vibrations per hour, all this water resistant down to 50 meters. You can see this is number 150 of 150. So if you're going to buy one, this is a good example to buy. The 31 joule movement has a quick set but not stop seconds. The traditional El Primero does not have stop seconds. What it does have is a gorgeous tandem of column wheel, which looks good in blue, for crisp actuation feel, and then a lateral clutch. And lateral clutches are always delightful when you can see them. And the El Primero is probably one of the best looking automatic chronograph calibers of all time. They usually shield the fun stuff underneath some sort of a winding bridge. Here, you can see just about everything. Rolling back to the dial side, you can see that this USA limited edition of 150 pieces is A+ by me. A timepiece that is equal measures Swiss and American. It's so American, you could even pronounce it Zenith. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.